So in front of me here, I have another example, kind of a different Sodbuster pattern style of knife. It's not really a pattern because Case has trademarked the term Sodbuster, I think. But I think most of us know what I'm talking about when I say Sodbuster. They're all, generally this shape and everything. Um, And as some of you may know, some of you who have been here for a while, the Case Sodbuster is what actually got me started on the traditional pocket knife um, world, kind of. I bought a blue Delrin handled stainless steel Case Sodbuster, and I carried that every day for a while, and it was a great knife. I haven't really carried it at all anytime recently because I have knives that just make me happier than that knife does currently. Although that knife is still in my collection and I'm never going to get rid of it because it's the knife that started all this. But occasionally I'll, get another Sodbuster pattern. I have a Great Eastern Cutlery 21 and a Great Eastern Cutlery 71, although that's the Sud Buster with the bottle opener on it. And occasionally I'll think about picking up another Sodbuster pattern. Recently, I've been looking at the Otter knives, Hippekniep. I wrote it down. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not German. Hippekniep. I don't know. Um, but yeah, something like that. And this is the large one. They also do a smaller one. The smaller one's probably more along the size of like your Case Sodbuster Jr., whereas this one is about the size of like the large Sodbuster or Great Eastern Cutlery 21. You can see here, Otter Messer is a company out of Solingen, Germany. This knife is made in Solingen, Germany. One of the great cutlery cities of Europe, pretty much. You have Solingen and there's Mantiago, Italy, Solingen, Germany. I don't know the French cutlery city. If I paid more attention, I probably would, but I don't. And I have a lot of French knives. I should probably know that. But then there's also Sheffield in England. And of course, here in the United States, we have a lot. The origin of cutlery in the Americas, I'll call them North America, uh, was all kind of around the area that I kind of live in. I live in Pennsylvania. You got a lot of cutlers in Pennsylvania, a lot more in New York. And there's like a special area of New York that a lot of them came from. Of course, in Pennsylvania, we have Case and Great Eastern Cutlery still. Um, but yeah, anyway, done ranting about random cutlery cities and areas and whatnot. This is an Otter Messer. Otter knife. Messer is knife in German. Um, Made in Solingen, Germany. It's got these wooden handles. I believe these are smoked oak, like my 3 rivet knife is. I just bumped the blade against my light I have here. That's good. Um, these no longer have the exposed rivet, pivot pin rivet, whatever you want to call it. They no longer have the exposed one like they used to have, and they've gone to more of a traditional case one where you can't really see that pin. When I got this, it did have a slight amount of blade play. I just quickly fixed that, hence why you can see the outline of the pin right there. The older versions of these had a pivot that was much like the Great Eastern Cutlery pivots, where you can see the ring and then you can see the pin in the middle, and then it's like peened around it, kind of. The older versions of these had those. Um, this one is carbon steel, as most of you probably figured. I'm way more into carbon steel than stainless steel. Love this blade finish, this satin brushed, whatever you want to call it. I really like the little otter, um, the otter, the otter there on the blade. It's very cute, for lack of a better word. It's neat. It's neat branding. It's just something that's little and cool. You can point out to people, and they'll also think it's cool. People that aren't like cutlery nerds, you can point it out to them, and they'll go, "Oh, that's a cute little otter on that knife you have there," and then they'll call the police because you have a knife. Um, Actually, I make jokes like that, but in America, we're pretty lucky when it comes to knives. They're too worried about guns, which is a whole other thing, um, than to care about knives, really. But knife laws are weird in America, also. Um, but yeah, really love the finish on this blade. The like brushed or satin finish, whatever you want to call it. This is once again the large one, which means it has the longer blade. I think it's about 3.5 inches. I do have my ruler again here. Found it. Oh, actually, the blade's like almost 4 inches long. It's like 3 3/4 inch blade. Now the cutting edge is more like 3.5, which is, to be fair, kind of what you actually use the blade for. Um, Close length's probably around 4.5. Yeah, close length's a little over 4.5. It looks like. So pretty close to 4.5. The smoked oak handles look pretty good. There are some different wood options. The large one does come with a little lanyard hole, although the lanyard hole is exposed to the blade, so you might end up cutting your lanyard by mistake. But yeah, action on this opening is really good. Really snaps open. Closing's a little lazier, but still pretty good. But it really snaps open, which is like the thing that I think most people actually care about. That back spring is pretty good there. Um, the edge grind on this knife is pretty good. It's actually really good. It does look almost a little. I'm not going to be able to get it on camera because this is a cell phone and I'm using a crappy desk lamp here, like I've been using for, I don't know, almost 2 years now. Um, but the edge is a little like wavy almost. Like it almost looks like a very lightly serrated blade. It kind of almost showed it there, like right here in this area. It's a little weird. Still sharp. Came hair shaving sharp, which is cool. Not often you get a knife right out of the box that will shave your arm hair like that. But I'll probably touch it up on the ceramic rod just to get rid of any weird little like inconsistencies in the edge, pretty much. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with this knife. It's certainly a more premium version of a Sodbuster because with case you usually end up getting the Delrin handles unless you get the junior with the bone handles, and then you're in a whole other world kind of. I don't have any of them. Maybe someday. But I think I like the wood handles over the Delrin handles. Of course, the only problem with the Delrin handles, or the only problem with the wood handles over the Delrin handles, is wood might be more apt to like crack or shrink or swell, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Delrin or synthetics in general don't really do that. They kind of just, are fine no matter what. Um, Now they can crack, but it's much less likely than wood to crack. So if you're somebody who's going to be dropping your knife a lot or doing some really hard work, you may want a case Sodbuster with the synthetic handles on it over something like this because you might be more apt to crack the wooden handles on a knife like this. For whatever reason, I cannot get happy with the lighting on this video. Um, but oh well. Hopefully, when I move, I'll get a better setup and everything, and this will be more of a permanent setup, and I'll be able to have some better lighting. Moving soon. By the time this video comes out, I might actually be completely moved. I don't know. I've been working on packing and stuff and everything. But anyway, this is the Otter Messer large Hippekniep, whatever that means. Um, it's the large one. Their take on a Sodbuster knife. I like it. I believe I'm going to carry it tomorrow. And yeah, it's a decent little knife. You can get these around $65, I think, is like kind of the most common price I see them for. Around that price, you might be able to find them a little cheaper, a little more expensive. The smaller one is more around 60. So it is more expensive than a case Sodbuster, but I think it's a better knife overall than a case Sodbuster. Oh, I never mentioned blade steel is the C75 that they use on like all of their otter knives that are carbon steel. So if you care about that, it's C75, not as good as 1095, but I don't really care. But yeah, so this is the Otter Messer version of a Sodbuster, and it's a pretty decent knife. Seems like, yep. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.